Well, I would say that the exhibition is about forcing two worlds to speak to each other that don't generally have anything to do with one another. I'm Christopher Bedford, the curator of exhibitions at the Wexner Center for the Arts at The Ohio State University. And I'm thrilled about the HardTargets landing here at the Wexner Center.
HardTargets is an exhibition bringing together 21 contemporary artists who are masterful in all different media, focusing on the subject of sports.
So the germ of it, sort of the genesis of HardTargets, was when I was at Oberlin College and I was playing football and I was an art history major. So I was learning two very different things concurrently. So it struck me that maybe there was a way to take the strategies of feminism and apply those to the way that masculinity is understood in athletics. That's the basis for the exhibition.
So I think people are curious to see an exhibit like this that portrays the masculinity of these athletes and some of the things that they go through.
When you think about sports, most people don't see the beauty of it. Most people don't see the art that exists in sports.
There's a huge range of sports represented in the exhibition. There's everything from basketball, soccer, football, wrestling. There's a heavy emphasis on race in the exhibition, and particularly blackness in relation to the commercial dimension of the sport.
I really like the Nike piece where the guy's branded himself, and I think that's interesting. And I also think taking advantage of Jordan shoes and creating some art around it is pretty unique.
These sculptural works by Brian Youngin bring together both a fascination with the accoutrement of sports and branding, and he has created these incredibly mysterious and powerful mask-like sculptures.
Paul Pfeiffer's Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse is a really good example of an artist's very critical investment in the spectacle of sport, and he's taking the photographs from the NBA archive and he's stripping them of all the advertising, and so what you see is something that looks almost sanctified, almost sacred investment that we as a public have, not only in the spectacle of sport, but the people who are the central part of that spectacle.
A series of pieces that we are especially fond of here at the Wexner Center is a body of new work created by the photographer Kathy Opie, and she took photographs of Bexley high school football players on the occasion of their game against Academy, the crosstown rival. And the fact is, these boys, although they're trying to look so tough, have this sweet kind of innocent vulnerability about them that is just absolutely priceless.
So there's a piece in the exhibition by Mark Bradford. One of the three pieces he's contributed to this show is called Pride of Place. He's dressed in the uniform of the LA Lakers, which is probably familiar to everyone, but he's wearing this really cumbersome ball gown. So is he dancing, is he shooting a basket, is he posing? Is this anything to do with sport, or does it have something more to do with fashion and advertising? Well, we've tried to acknowledge the unique nature of this exhibition's relationship to the sports culture at Ohio State. One mantra that exists at Ohio State is one university, and it's so difficult to actualize that. But this is a genuine point of intersection.
Now, as Gordon Gee often says, this is one university. We are cross-disciplinary, we are multidisciplinary, and I would say this exhibition is the perfect illustration of that. Go Bucks.
The talent that exists in our student-athlete population is huge. The same thing exists here. We have a number of our student-athletes. Most people know about Dexter Larimore, who's one of our starting defensive tackles from Indiana. He's majoring in art, so I know he'll probably be one of the first ones in here. So there's a marriage that exists, and so hopefully people will talk about that for quite some time.
I wanted to try and put on an exhibition in Columbus that drew on the popular interest that exists here for sport. I mean, it's an unbelievably lively, it's an almost an obsessive investment in Ohio State athletics. So I thought, well, there's a ready public for this kind of exhibition. So it's supposed to have this very dual address, both to the art world, forcing them out of their comfort zone, and to the world of sports fandom, and enticing them to come to the Wexner Center. It's unlike anything else we've ever done, for sure.